Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Championship weekend, of course, AFC Championship, NFC Championship this upcoming weekend. Sean, we both went 2-2 this past week, so I guess that would mean you're guaranteed to beat me.
Ooh, it was Crosby too.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Ugh,
I don't want to talk about it.
Sucks, man.
So we both went 2-2. I'm 36-37 on the year. You were 40-33 on the year. So even at best, I could get to 39, and you would hit 40. So you have already beaten me in the NFL.
Like I said, hard to argue with statistics.
But let's start with the NFC Championship game. Those Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers, 4-point home favorite. 50 is your over-under. This one at Sunday at 3:05 Eastern time on Fox. I want to check the weather because I know like they were talking about that this past weekend. How
Tom played his whole career in New England.
Well, right. Like that was the thought I had too, because they're like, well, it's going to be a lot colder in Green Bay next weekend than it was, because I guess this past
you don't
week,
say. It's
wasn't that
colder
bad
in Green Bay in January than it is in Tampa. That's a very bold
a chance
prediction.
of snow, cloudy, high near 29. That's not that cold for Green Bay in January.
Doesn't matter. These guys can play in the cold.
And still, yeah, Tom wears that. He wears the
people
he
act
wears
like
the scuba
because
suit.
It's Green Bay, those players like playing in the cold. Nobody likes playing in the cold. You get a little more used to it, I guess. But like Aaron Rodgers would much rather play this game in front of a home crowd in like if he could just move the whole crowd to like the beach, he'd be fine.
Oh yeah, but I mean, still, like Brady's gonna put on his scuba suit or whatever, and he's gonna be fine. He's done this his entire career.
Don't sell me on the weather. The weather doesn't sound bad enough to make it worth changing my choice.
But for me, you know, I think yes, the Packers have definitely been the most consistent and best team in the NFC. But I've talked about, you know, Tampa over the last month of the regular season and now into the playoffs. Their defense is playing extremely well. So to me, I'm gonna go Tampa to cover. I think they're gonna win this game. I think Brady's gonna get to the Super Bowl. And I figure, why the hell not? The world's on fire anyway. Why not let the sports burn it down too? See people lose their mind over Brady getting back to another Super Bowl. But I'm actually gonna go under here. I think if Tampa is going to do this, they're obviously going to have to control the Packers offense. I don't think you can win a shootout against the Packers offense the way it's been clicking. So to do what you've been doing over the past few weeks and in the postseason, and that is limit your opponent. So I have the Bucs to cover and to win this game, but I'm going under.
No. Nope. It's real hard. Like,
no. Hell no.
I had my pick like ready lined up, and then I just sat here for 20 minutes milking Tom's teats and whatever else. So it's real hard to go from that into picking against him.
My.
But it's not that hard. The Packers have on my list been a top 2 team in the NFL the entire time. They've done nothing to show me that they don't belong there. Aaron Rodgers is playing at an elite level, a level that's even beyond what he's been doing for the past few years. Devontae Adams, by the way, brag all week about shutting down Michael Thomas, and then talk to me about what you do to Devontae Adams, because they're very similar players. One is healthy, the other is not, and we'll see what Devontae does to you. Made Jalen Ramsey look kind of silly on several plays to get through the Rams, who, by the way, played a pretty good game. I think the Rams did as much as they could have. And a few balls bounced their way. I think they're right in that to take the game. I thought they at least put themselves in a position to have a chance to win. They just needed help Like you need like a bounce of a ball when you're stacked up against a team like that. I don't think the Buccaneers are in quite the same scenario. They obviously have a good team on both sides of the ball, but I don't see anyone, even teams that are starting to shut down the Packers, like they just become inventive and find ways to break you, and it just works. And that defense has played well enough, and I think is playing about as good as they have all year. It's not at the level of some of these other defenses that are still around, but the Packers defense is good enough to force some mistakes, and I don't even think they need to. I think even if it's just a back and forth Rocky IV style slugfest, the Pack still cover and the Pack still win, and I'll take the over.
All right, then let's see here. Jake has the Pack and the Bills in the Super Bowl. He says he's going to lock that down.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Technically, he said lock it down.
Well,
I'm not sure what that
I don't have a lock it down sound.
There's a storm coming. You got to lock it down.
Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Let's go to the AFC Championship. Of course, the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Question if Patrick Mahomes is going to play or not.
This pick real hard.
I think this line is going to move. Obviously, if he does get cleared to play, this is 2.5 home favorite with Pennsylvania's own Chad Henne.
Boom.
Yeah, in this house, we love Chad Henne. 53.5 is your over under Sunday at 6:40 on CBS. I said it in the game after the Colts game, and it was funny because most of the year I kind of doubted the Bills, and then I finally bought in, and then for 2 games in the postseason, I mean, they've done enough to win. Don't get me wrong, they've done enough to win, which in some cases is all you have to do, but finally I buy in on them, and then for the last 2 weeks they started to look like the team that I questioned a little bit early on, in the season over your first 6-8 weeks. Now, obviously, they will be in a much better position in this game if Patrick Mahomes cannot go. But I
just
like
to help you, as of an article posted 6 hours ago, out of it looks like this one is. Sources from Adam Schefter originally is that Pat Mahomes cleared some big steps, remains in the protocol, but is going to return to practice as early as Wednesday. So, not saying that means he's going to play, but he will apparently be practicing as of Wednesday. So, doesn't really change anything. Still in the protocol. Takes a lot to get cleared.
Sure. So I mean, it's looking a little bit more likely that he's probably going to go if he's close to healthy. He's going to go. There's not a question there. But even still, I'm going on under the assumption as we sit here tonight, because again, if you're not listening to this live, we are live on Tuesday, so a lot's going to change between now and Sunday evening. But even with the with Chad Henne, I just like this Chiefs team more. I mean, first off, Andy Reid and that coaching staff clearly not afraid to show how big their balls are, even with Chad Henne under center.
Oh no!
You go to that
Pack
fourth down play.
Put him in the wheelbarrow.
He's standing there in shotgun, and I'm like, okay, they're going to try and get the Browns to jump, and then they're going to either call a timeout or take the delay of game and then punt. And sure enough, they snapped it. They ran that play. Nothing the Browns could do in that situation. So there's a degree of faith there. I mean, yes, Chad Henne is basically a career backup. I know he started a little bit in Miami, he started a little bit in Jacksonville. But, like, you don't spend, 10 plus years in the NFL if you're not good enough, to be a capable backup. So, like, you could do a lot worse if you have to roll with Chad Henne for this game. It's going to be up to the defense. It's going to, the Bills don't have a run game, so you just have to limit Stephon Diggs. I like Honey Badger's ability to make some plays in that secondary. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Chad Henne under center, I'm going the Chiefs to cover and to make it back to the Super Bowl again. I'm going to go over either way because, the Bills are going to score points, so the Chiefs are going to have to do it as well.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle this, but I pretty much agree with everything you said. I think I kind of agree with Jake. I think if there's ever been a time where we maybe bend the rules on some concussion protocol, at least some late stages of it, this may be the time. I feel like the league needs Patrick Mahomes more than they don't need him to survive, and people aren't going to not watch it if he doesn't play. They may watch it even more if he doesn't. But he's the guy bringing the young kids in. He's the guy bringing people to the TV. He's the guy selling the shirts. So I feel like it's kind of one of those scenarios where the league may secretly or not so secretly bend some rules. But I'm with you. Chad Henne, Pat Mahomes, huge difference, but it is it's my coach. It's my coach. Big Red, Andy Reid, only coach ever to host 3 consecutive championship games in both the NFC and the AFC. Not too shabby. Instant Hall of Famer when he's eligible. One of the best of all time. Unfortunately, not even probably the best of his generation, only because the guy up in New England keeps winning goddamn Super Bowls. But
right, like we talked about championships being a tiebreaker.
Versus rings scenario again. Andy Reid's one of the best game day coaches I've seen. He's one of the best halftime adjusters I've seen. And I think whatever scenario he's in, he always puts his team in a position to win. And I think that it's going to be a lot of pressure for Buffalo to go out there. You don't have the Mafia in the stands behind you. Don't get me wrong. There's probably going to be a few of them there. And if they're not there, they're going to be in the parking lot throwing snowballs or whatever else is out there.
Lighting tables on fire.
Breaking tables, lighting things on fire. That's exactly what's going to happen outside the stadium. But inside, it's going to be a very different ball game. I think that there's a lot of pressure on them, much like the Browns, where it's like, you're finally here. Don't screw this up. That kind of, it's hard when you're a team that hasn't had success in a long time to start having success. You kind of need to get close and have a speed bump. This is a big speed bump. I like the Chiefs. I like the over. I'm with you on both counts. And I'm going to lock it up.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I didn't
Should have
feel
locked up the Packers, but it didn't seem fair.
I didn't feel confident either way. I should have locked up Brady because I've always been a Brady defender. As much as people don't like him, I've always liked to defend him. But so there it is. We will find out this weekend who is going to play in the Super Bowl. Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?